All right. So now, the moderator for our next segment, the executive director of CACELI, Mr. Patrick Dessources.
Hello? One. All right, all right. Good afternoon, everyone. M'bap tombe, m'bap tombe. I have the privilege to moderate a very interesting panel um, because for the past 15 years, we've been talking a lot about economic development in Haiti, and we never thought about new models, new structures. And today we're gonna have the opportunity to hear from three esteemed panelists. I cannot borders, my brothers in arms. Reginald Cean, can you join us on the podium? From ASA, Association Zami Agricole. Pierre Noel, Executive Director of the Haiti Development Institute. And Joanne Bounouni, Joanne from JCA. Come to the podium. Thank you. All right. Ika. I'm waiting for the presentation to be up. Um, for those who don't know me, I'm one of a small percentage of Haitians that had the opportunity to visit the entire country, all the 10 departments from land to sea, from mountain to sea. So we have a deep knowledge on of the country. And I had the opportunity to represent an impact first agricultural lender in 2010, from 2010 to 2016, called Wood Capital. So we had the opportunity to work with small growing businesses throughout the country, mostly farmers co-op involved in producing, processing, and exporting. So a lot of coffee from coming from Haiti. Yes, we work with the coffee farmers. We work with the coffee co-op, cocoa co-op, the vetiver co-op, and processors, and a bunch of organizations. Today, the name of the panel is Think Big. We're thinking economic development in Haiti. You got it? Ah, super. Thank you. Ok, m'a juste fait un petit rappel, parce que je connais que nous quittons Haïti un bon petit moment. M'a pay an attention on the GDP. In 2022, GDP is $20.3 billion. That's when you're comparing that with the DR GDP, that's just a drop in the bucket, and we're sharing the same island. We have about 11.6 million people, about the size of Maryland. Life expectancy is about 62 years old. And we have the form of government is semi-presidential republic. And you know exactly what we have right now in Haiti. We have an interim government. So before we move further, I want to give you like an idea of the economy framework in Haiti at the moment. We're gonna just mention 6 of them. We know of the political and social instability. We know about natural disasters. We know about poverty and equality, resilience and development strategies on the ground, the international support. So I need to salute the effort of USAID, the IDB, and the World Bank. I think is Ivy, you still in the Ivy? See, all right. And the economic sectors. So we all know that agriculture represent at least 20% of the Haitian GDP. And today we're gonna frame our conversation about what we can do in agriculture and finance. The Corning government, once they took charge of Haiti, they conducted what they call like a rapid crisis impact assessment, RCIA. And it was done on the West Department and the Bounouni Department. Two geographic departments heavily affected by the gang operations and other unrest. The results, preliminary results, 700 plus internally displaced, massive repatriation from the Dominican Republic, more than 20 healthcare facilities closed, half of the population is food insecure. So 1 billion is required to recapitalize the financial sector, 2.6 billion US needed over the next 2 years. And we all know that the government doesn't have the means to take on these challenges. So today, I have the honor to have a conversation with my brothers and sisters in harm, people that I've known for a long time, believing in changing the narrative in Haiti and trying to leave a better Haiti for our grandchildren. So I'm gonna start by thanking you for being here. And I'm gonna start with Pierre, Noel. Pierre Noel is a friend of mine. Pierre, I don't know when we met. I think we met at one of the highest mountain peaks in Haiti. So Pierre Noel is the executive director of the Haiti Development Institute. I will let Pierre talk about himself, a brief presentation, and what is the HGI is all about.
Thank you, Patrick. Nous rencontrés ça fait longtemps vraiment. Et I think where we met nowadays, it's hard to actually go there right now because of the conditions in the country now. But thank you, and I'm happy to share this table with Joanne and Reginald. Now, I had the pleasure of saying a few things about HDI yesterday, but I want to go a bit deeper this time around and talk about why we exist specifically and what our work looks like. Before saying exactly what we do and how, I want to start by saying our goal really is to build communities. If you can imagine, a lot of the people in the room, a lot of us in the room, and a lot of activities going on in Haiti, they're very specific. Either we want to educate a child, or we want to feed a child, or we want to provide health care. The problem is we can have educated, well-educated people very healthy people. If the community where they live in is not suitable for them to thrive as a family and have a family and have sustainable livelihoods, they're leaving. So our work is about the community. We want to accompany the communities through their leaders, be it civil society leaders or publicly sector leaders and private sectors, to make sure that they can actually have the tools, the resources, build the connection and the networks they need to be able to plan and support their community, develop their community forward. That is the gist of our work. And to do that, we do it in 4 specific ways. One, we come in by making sure that we can bring resources into communities, specifically rural, because we have a commitment to decentralization. We come in by identifying leaders in those communities or organizations with roots that are deep in those communities and also boots in the community, and provide resources financially. As we do so, through grants or support investment with social enterprises, we also couple that with capacity development, ensuring that these organizations or these social enterprises that we invest in, they over time get the coaching they need and the support, the training they need, so that they can actually have potent and sustainable organizations. That is the way we work. But as we do so, imagine you have an organization or you have a community with good leadership, with strong institution. One of the things that is necessary is how do you bring the community together? So we are a convener and we facilitate those conversations so that in every community we come in, we help facilitate, create the table so that voices get elevated and the people get to talk and think about what it is they want as a community and what they envision to leave for their children. Once they do that, then we come in again and support that vision. Yesterday I talked about a 2-year vision process that we had inherited and have been supporting since 2015. That is actually the way we do our work, and currently today we are working in 8 departments, and we have 34 groups that we support across the country, and we also have 42 organizations that we're currently supporting with capacity enhancement across 8 departments. We do not work in Grandance and Northwest at the moment, but this is the gist of our work. At the end of the day, we're looking at how do we make sure that we create the spaces, provide the resources, and have a commitment to equity, so that because we all know how exclusionary our country can be and has been over these past 200 years. So going into the communities and with that understanding allows us to actually go further, ask more questions than we need to.
Yeah, thank you. Joanne, I know you wear many hats, right? But Joanne, today I want you to talk about bracing neighbors, because I know you're involved with a few communities, and also you're gonna have to make a real connection with finance also, for in the community and finance. Go ahead.
Thank you, Patrick. Thank you for making the connection. My name is Joanne Bounouni. I am the CEO of GECA, which is a woman-owned and woman-led business advisory firm. GECA's objective is to lead economic development by providing specialized services to enterprises at whatever stage of their maturity level they would be. We work with businesses and entrepreneurs from the incubation level to the cultivation, then to the acceleration. And we do so by integrating all our services with finance. We do funding, fundraising, we do audits, and in doing so, our corporate social enterprise arm works with incubation. And this is where I introduce Bracing Neighbors, which is for many aspects and in many ways my baby. And in Bracing Neighbors, we work with women, with communities to drive development. We work with women in capacity building, where we train them in different areas, depending on what their need is. Like Pierre said, you go into the community and you don't impose your will, you don't impose what you want to teach, but you ask the community what they want to do. And when they answer, that's when we bring in the service. That's when we leverage all our collaboration and our network to bring specialized services. And for entrepreneurs, for example, we bring business advisory services where we teach them how to budget, teach them how to do their prix de revient cost. And in doing so, we accompany them with a small grant so they can relaunch their business. The small grant is used as working capital, and we have seen great progress so far. We've so far impacted 970 families. It seems very small considering the big numbers that you showed, 11 million Haitians, but we are very satisfied with the results so far, and we are looking forward to continuing this collaboration.
Thank you, Joanne. Thank you. Reginald Cean is the executive director of Zami Agricole. Regi, take it away.
Merci, Patrick. Before I start, I would like to add, Pierre didn't mention that before regarding HDI. HDI has invested in Haiti over $5 million to 100 organizations, and HDI has helped or facilitated about $2 million in investment in local organizations in Haiti by connecting local organizations to other funders. I think it's necessary to say, and Albert from Clays that talked this morning is a graduate of HDI that we are very proud of. So I'm talking now for Zami Agricole. Association Zami Agricole is an organization that has been around for the last 20 years, mainly in the Central Plateau. The work of Zami Agricole is to equip smallholder farmers with resources, inputs, to increase agricultural production and also to improve their livelihood. The model is based on a triangle. We have community development. This is the branch that supports the smallholder farmers, where we have a service of proximity. We have extension agents working in the communities to provide all kinds of support to the families. We are talking currently about 4,500 farmers, which is roughly 20,000 people. We are working in 7 municipalities or communes in the Central Plateau. We combine that with vocational training and research, where we have a vocational school that provide opportunity to the kids of the farmers we are working with. They can come to have a profession in agriculture. Entrepreneurship is a main component. We have a system-based learning by doing, where they spend 30% in the classroom and 70% of the time in the field, working with the families or working in the farms. We do also farming. Zami Agricole has a good farm of 45 hectares and also another farm of 30 hectares where we are producing sorghum for the farmers. And we combine that also with research. We have soil lab facility where we test the soil and we provide technical assistance to the farmers. It's not only to increase production, it is also to connect them with market, with sorghum, black beans, peanuts, or pigeon pea, to strengthen the work they are doing. In sum, this is what Zambia Agricole is doing, and we'll have the opportunity to talk more about collaborations with HDI and the other partners.
Thank you, Reginald. On the screen, so you have the QR codes of all three panelists. Please scan them and connect with them afterwards. So we're gonna frame the conversation around two flagship initiatives that are currently happening in Haiti. We mentioned a lot the word entrepreneurship, economic development, and I have my colleague Philip, and we're in Costa Rica this week at the FLEA, and we had an investing exercise, and the people selected infrastructure as the number one investment for Haiti. So we know it's gonna be difficult because the kind of infrastructure we're talking about to make the change though that really needs, Haiti gonna need to have what we call a credit rating, and we fall away from that. So we move to the next pillar, agriculture. I know there's a lot of things happening in agriculture, and I was really happy to hear from Albert, to hear from the consortium Melfed Vet, I mean, what they're doing on the ground, and Gabi. So we're gonna jump in. We're gonna talk about these initiatives. We have the one called the Haiti Food System Alliance. So I'm gonna let Joanne talk about the Haiti Food System Alliance, and then Pierre, you're gonna continue with the Collective Acadien initiative called the Agri-Food Entrepreneurship Center. Joanne, can you tell the people what's all about?
Let me set the background a little bit. When we talk about economic development, when we talk about agriculture, when we talk about financing, they are not dissociated. They are part of a whole. You cannot see economic development if you don't invest in people. You cannot see agriculture if you don't invest in farmers. Now, knowing that, we need to start talking about ecosystem. We need to start talking about systems. And in doing so, we understand the need to have the entire ecosystem come together, and this is what the Haiti Food System Alliance is. And this is where you see the coherence between all the three of us sitting at the table. The Haiti Food System Alliance is an organization, an association that we decided to put in place that believes that Haiti can feed Haiti, and that also believes in souveraineté alimentaire. Can someone translate, please? So food sovereignty.
Yeah.
Sounds kind of heavy, no? Okay. And believes in souveraineté alimentaire. What does that mean? Haitians should be able to feed Haitians. We have enough land to produce. We have enough farmers to work the land. We should find enough finance to support them. And the Haiti Food System Alliance is regrouping right now 15 partners, 15 members. We invite other people to join the alliance as member to participate in the creation of this ecosystem. But we have different categories of partners. When you talk about system, you cannot have everyone in agriculture and then the boat is sinking on one side. So we have three categories of partners. We have the production partners, the service partners, and the market partners. In the production partners, you have AZA that regroups 70,000 farmers. We have 3 hospitals, and the network of hospitals, I can name, for example, Zami La Santé. HDI is part of the Haiti Food System Alliance. JECA is also part of the Haiti Food System Alliance. We also have a university that is part of the Alliance for Research in Agriculture. And we also have schools, about 200 schools that are part of the Alliance. These partners come together to take concrete action into the development. And I think the next step also is to talk about infrastructure, because this is soft assets.
Thank you, Joanne. Pierre, can you tell us about, there's the connection, like with the Food System Alliance, okay, we group all these partners, and we say, okay, we want to feed Haitian, right? But after that, we had a retreat, and at that retreat, we decided that we're gonna move forward. We need to move forward with hard investment, because if we really need to change the system, we need come up with import substitution mechanism for Haiti. So having a processing center and what we call the agri-food processing center is critical. So can you tell us a bit about what the center is all about?
Sure. In 15 years of working working in rural communities in Haiti, we've learned quite a bit. We have developed an understanding that naturally, as we all know, was growing up in Haiti, agriculture is the base of whatever we're going to do, and it's currently the base of everything that we support in Haiti. All of the organizations are outside of metropolitan areas are involved in one way or another in agriculture. So that is our base, and in thinking about it, we have been looking at what exactly do we do to support specifically agriculture. And we have been pulling together partnership to build a collective academy. And the collective academy, it flows from having pulled a community together over 2 years and developing specifically a vision. Once that vision was clear, it was clear for us that the community wanted to do 2 things as priorities. One was making sure that we create community spaces, because they felt that the engagement was important for them, because it gave them a space to actually facilitate voices and elevate voices. But the second piece, which was clear for us and for them, was economic development. And economic development for them means that we start with agriculture by making sure that we can develop opportunities for people, young people specifically, and women to be engaged in agriculture in a much different way. And how we now agreed to make that come up is show up is through the Agri-Food Entrepreneurship Center. And that Agri-Food Entrepreneurship Center is going to be on a 40-acre property that we've already purchased. We've already made the master plan. We've done the strategic plan in terms of developing a plan and programs on how it is going to get done. And the good thing is that throughout this process, the community has always been involved. And also the other thing that is very, very much important is that as we move forward with concretizing this work, it's really more now a manifestation, a physical manifestation of what the Haiti Food System Alliance is. The Alliance has members working across the country, 70,000 farmers. Now with the Agri-Food Center, we're creating a space that is going to have serve as a one-stop shop. That one-stop shop is, imagine you have a farmer in Haiti. You have to do pretty much everything, from seeding to harvesting, and from harvesting to storage to marketplace. What if we could reinvigorate the way that is done. That creates opportunities for young people, that creates opportunities for them to engage with agriculture in a much different way. Imagine if you have a young person working in, wanting to do something in agriculture. Certainly they don't want to do it the way that their parents did it. But if that person can actually specifically create one business that supports a large facility, that will make that person feel that young person feel much more comfortable, and they will be engaged in agriculture in one way or another. So that's what the the Agri-Food Center is proposing. It's going to have a processing center. That processing center will be processing dry goods, but it also we're also looking at having a storage facility for cold and beverage and vegetables. The other piece of that is the facility will also have provide farmers with access to equipment, access to support from technical support in terms of extension agents, which with our partnership with Zambia Agricole and the HFSA, we will have access to, because we're providing the training. Imagine also today, one of the biggest issues that we're dealing with is when machineries are purchased in Haiti, they do go bad quite often. We're developing an agricultural mechanics program with that partnership that will make sure that there are young Haitians who are serving these machineries that would be available to access to provide these services across the country. In a way, we're making sure that whatever issues that farmers have been telling us over the past 20 years, and all of us have been working in agriculture in one way or another in supporting farmers. So we've been listening. They've always said inputs are issues, seeds, quality seeds are issues. They've also said that they lack access to irrigation and other infrastructure. They've also said that the issue of financing is a big issue for them. That's why we've created in this process the Entrepreneurship Center, which will provide them access to the support service to develop the right businesses that serves agriculture. What we're doing, in a sense, is creating a one-stop shop where we bring everything in one place, but at the service of agriculture. And the reason why it's so important is because we all understand that we need jobs, for example, in textiles, because there could be there are thousands of them. We need jobs in IT, and thousands of them as the young people can be serving and working and serving companies across the world. However, there's a fallacy in there, because it depends on the needs of somebody else and on the needs of somebody outside of the country. Agriculture actually is about us. It's about our land, and it's about something that no country in the world can say they don't need. We heard earlier today that we have the land, we need to produce more. What we're doing is looking at, it's not just production, but looking at the whole value chain. If you produce, you need to not lose post-harvest. We lose about $352 million from 2018 to 2021 post-harvest, simply because farmers don't have the storage facility they need. They do not have we don't have the processing facilities that we need. We can actually change this, and this is just a start, because the Agri-Food Center in Akaya is just about starting, and then as we move forward, especially with the Haiti Food System Alliance with members across the country, it can be replicated.
Thank you, Pierre. So, Joanne, since yesterday we'll be hearing people talking about the difficulty to access capital for in rural Haiti, And we all know that over the year after year, the commercial banks only invest like 2% in agriculture. So less than 1%. Well, I just wanted to be, yes, less than 1%. Less than 1%. This is, I work with a lot of SGBs, a lot of agribusinesses, a lot of farmers organization, and at every meeting, if you tell them what is the number one issue for them, they're gonna say finance, right? I know you be in the system for a while. What do you think should be done, like some kind of financial instrument, should be done to make to give the sector a more appealing approach for the youth specifically?
That is a very tough question, Patrick, because in other words, you're asking me, how do we make agriculture sexy for the financial institutions? Well, I think with the structure that we are building with the Haiti Food System Alliance, I think with the assets that we're valuing with the Agri-Food Center, we can look into blended finance investment. What do I mean by that? With the critical mass that we have within the center and within the alliance, and more farmers joining in and more farmers being more structured, you can look at investment in the form of grants, refundable grants or non-refundable grants. You can look at investment in equipment. You can also look at investment in the impact world, because we are creating impact for the country, and that's how you make, Patrick, agriculture look sexy.
Right. Okay, I remember. I'm gonna way back, Reginald. I don't know if you attended that that conference. It was a conference, I think 2009, South Beach. I don't know how many of you attended the conference, and it was the first time the word putting together a diaspora fund that can invest directly in Haiti with the matching of the government was pronounced. So 2009 to date, that's a lot of years, right? So nothing happened. And I know, Regi, I've been to Zambia Agricole, I visited all the farms. I spoke to a lot of beneficiaries on the field. And you on the ground doing what it takes to make it happen. Can you tell us, okay, Joanne added a few things on the for the system, so not the financial sector now, like the youth. So we need to make agriculture sexy for the youth also, right? Because a lot of them been going up and they see their parents, been working every day at 3 a.m., going to the field, and they can even, when the big ticket items come on the table, they cannot afford it. So that's one of the reasons that young Haitians, they're not too interested in agriculture, because they don't see it as a pathway to get rich. So what do you think we can do to make it sexy for the youth?
I will start first by promoting the use of technology in agriculture, for example, with the vocational training at Zambia Agricole. In the communities on the hillside or on the lowland, people are still using archaic tools to do agriculture. It is a lot of work and it is not efficient. So the use of technology, simple tools like machinery, a tractor or a motoculture, they can help the young people to come back to agriculture. And now you have the use of drone, for example, instead of spraying with a pump, you can have a drone to do the work for you. This could be an attractive alternative for young people, and it could be also a business opportunity. One thing, we have farmers we are working with. We are providing technical assistance. Many of them, they do not have the pump to do the job, or they do not have the knowledge to find the correct pesticide for the crops when there is a problem. So if you are using technology in agriculture, you can provide opportunity for young people to use this kind of alternative to provide services. The second one is the market making money, because many young people that stop doing agriculture or do not follow their parents, it's because their parent cannot take care of them with agriculture. While there is a huge potential for market in Haiti. For example, with the Haitian food basket, we have 6 main components. The first one is rice. We have corn, beans, flour, oil. Rice alone, since this morning we have been talking about rice. In a year, we consume 530,000 metric tons of rice in Haiti, and 90% of that is imported. So there is a huge market. So if we can invest, going back to Joanne, we can say, okay, we can capture 10 to 20% of the market. And we heard from Albert this morning saying there is appetite for Haitian people to consume local, to buy local, mostly the rice. This can help bring money to agriculture and attract young people. It's not only in rice. We have flour, for example. We have availability of breadfruit, sorghum, cassava, and we have local organizations working with HDI that already try to do flour with those raw materials, and it's working well. So now we need the expertise to scale up this kind of initiative, and also to develop a cluster. Like, there is availability of natural resources, but in terms of food processing or marketing or food safety, we need this kind of expertise on the table. This is the kind of advantages the alliance or organization like us can bring on the table.
Thank you, Reggie. We're gonna have 15 minutes for questions. So, I mean, the last question I have for you, guys. Okay, on the screen we have the dream team, right? So everything we mentioned earlier today, we're gonna need the dream team to make that happen, right? We're gonna need a dream team to make that happen. We all know that Haiti, I'm gonna put some hard facts. Foreign direct investment is important to develop a country. So from 1970 to date, foreign direct investment never surpassed 1% of the Haitian GDP. And I mentioned the GDP in one of the screens. So where are we gonna find the resources? I mean, the dream team we want to help us deliver for Haiti as a country. Where we would think we're gonna find the resources? What we need? I mean, we in Atlanta, we have a lot of people in the diaspora, and we know the diaspora is playing a very important role with remittances. But do you think the diaspora alone and the people in Haiti and some partners I want to acknowledge in the room, Emmanuel from the IDB lab, a great partner if you an agribusiness. Ivy Copperberg from IFC, great partner if you want to invest. But they have a threshold. People from DFC, they do 5 million up. You can do 2 million, right, Emmanuel? Ivy can do a lot. So I know it's a very tough questions. It's already 50. We're gonna receive the question from the attendants. Then we can we'll talk about it, alone. Right.
Thank you, thank you. All right.
Excuse me.
You can come
excuse
forward.
me, ma'am. Ma'am, I'm going to say one thing.
Sure.
We will not discuss alone. We are in a room full of Haitians, and if you are here, it means that you care about your country. It means that you care about your people. And if you're here, it means that you want to engage. Atlanta is a beautiful place, but for some of us, it's very far. So if we came here, it's because we want to move to action. And what I would say is that we absolutely need to work on collaboration. We absolutely need to work on partnerships. You don't need to invest money if you don't have money, but you can bring technical assistance, because we have, with Embracing Neighbors, we have a program where we give technical assistance in the form of grant. Like Regi said, we need to make agriculture sexy. We need to show people that other people in other countries do make money in agriculture, and there is a future in agriculture. So we will not discuss that alone. We will discuss this together. Thank you.
All right. Thank you all for your presentation. Well, obviously, when you talk about agriculture in Haiti, it's a very passionate topic, and it seems that it captivated everyone's attention. But yet, I got the feeling that we're talking here about reinforcing agriculture, mostly in the lens of doing business as usual. My concern is that I haven't heard, maybe you've said it, I missed it somehow, but I haven't heard you talking about how to consider climate change as a big issue when we're talking about agriculture. Well, Haiti as an island, we need obviously to have more production to fight against food insecurity. But nowadays we know that climate change is a big issue, and it impacts, everyone's, even big countries like the US, they are really concerned about it. Personally, I've been involved in many discussion, many research projects where big corporations are asking us to what we can do to mitigate or to adapt due to climate change related issue. But here, I want to have your insight on how your project, specific project, each of you, are considering dealing with this kind of issue there.
So your question is
if you
about
even-
climate smart agriculture, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
agriculture.
Regi, you can
Wait.
take that.
Yes, thank you for
Thank
the
you,
question.
thank you.
And climate smart agriculture, regenerative agriculture, or ecosystem-based adaptation, this is part of the package we are providing to farmers, for example. The first thing, as an alliance and also organization, we work a lot in research with Shibas University Quisqueya and also within Zambia Agricole. That's why we have a soil lab, the first thing. And for bean, for example, black beans, we had a huge problem with a mosaic virus affecting the bean. With the support of Feed the Future and other program research, now we are using a variety called Sankara, which is mosaic resistant and drought resistant that the farmers can plant. This is for beans, and also for sorghum. In 2016, we have a huge problem with pests in sorghum. Again, with research, we have some varieties like Pape Pichon. This is the variety we are using now with the farmers to produce sorghum. And in terms of training, climate smart agriculture, it is part of the school curriculum, is part of the work we are doing with farmers, and the concept of ecosystem-based adaptation, where we are teaching the farmers how to work with nature to reduce the exposure to climate change and to increase their resilience. This is also part of what we are doing.
Thank you.
And yes, thanks, Pierre, for mentioning that. Since 2014, we have been working with Sean University on payment for ecosystem services, where we are surveying every year the amount of carbon sequestered in the trees, and the farmers, they receive payment for that.
Thank you.
Well, thank you, panel. Well, I am a child of farmers. Mse moun la tibonit. Mte kon al nan jardin, waking up at 4 in the morning to go with my mom. And I was about 4 or 5 years old. So every time someone talks about the hunger in Haiti, how many people is hungry, it breaks my heart. Because there's no reason for Latibonite is not producing rice. I don't care what, we can talk between now until Jesus returns about gangs, all we want. So what we're saying about resources, if a little bit, just a little bit is being put toward agriculture, it's sad. Gang is not our problem. Not investing in agriculture is our problem. Because any country you live, if, for whatever reason, if your people are hungry, you're gonna have, crimes. So I don't know how we think we're gonna solve a problem without feeding, or even us that are very concerned in here investing or making agriculture sexy. It seems like there's only 3 of us who are interested in asking questions or even has input compared to before, long lines to ask questions. And now if we have to make agriculture sexy, and there's only 3 of us in line. So that tells you there's a problem right there. So no, one of the things I think we're talking about collective efforts. Anybody who has lands, my family has a lot of lands in Latibonite. So you have du moitié, which is good, which is helpful. Now that's something I can bring to them and says, we come to HDI or Agri, oui, tout bagay sa yo. So now we got the information, we bring to our family. So the other thing I'm gonna suggest is the, like SaniPay. So if I wanna invest $5, maybe there could be an AgriPay, maybe a fund like this to collect money for anyone who wants to pay that $1 or $5 per month toward AgriPay. Maybe that's a way of getting resources, so for us to contribute. A lot of us are scared of going because so-called gangs. So now this is your form of a way of giving back or contributing toward something that can bring economic development or help people get out of hunger in Haiti. Thank you so much for your time.
Sorry. I would suggest you scan, ma'am. I would suggest you scan our QR code because definitely this conversation needs to continue.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So just really quickly, when the question was asked about youth and how to make agriculture sexy for youth, sexy, that's Joanne's word. The first thing I thought about was agrotechnology and drones. So Reggie, I was very excited when you talked about drones and how that can be used for pesticides and how some of the tools are a little archaic when it comes to agriculture in Haiti. And investing in agrotechnology will help get the youth invested and excited. And I just wanted to share, and I'll find a connection for the panel, but I worked closely with a drone company that taught drone operators to do agrotechnology and to use drones for pesticides. It was an attorney from DuPont who retired, and I think he's in Martinique now. I don't know where he is, but I will find him and connect him with you all. But my question for the panel is, and this can go to Pierre, Joanne, or Reggie, what is the long-term goals for these 2 economic development models, the Haiti Food System Alliance and the Agro Entrepreneurship Center? When you start to scale, gain traction, when you start to meet some of your social impact metrics, what's the long-term vision beyond that so that economic development continues to drive within Haiti?
Thank you.
The way we're looking at this is the beginning. The Agri-Food Center, as I said, it is the manifestation of a vision that is that goes well beyond just a space. The space is to build confidence, to give communities a stake in their own future, and also give young people a stake to believe in and something that they can rally around. Now, in terms of our long-term goal, This is, I want to say that we have, collective is backed and anchored at HDI. And we have 11 partners, local and international. However, we also have, this is a diverse enterprise, so it's also business based. So we do have a company that is going to be managing this, so it's supposed to be generating revenue for us. And also, it's supposed to be part of a longer term, it's part of a longer term process. Collective itself is looking to have on the site facilities in healthcare, facilities in education, facilities in arts and culture, because it's an integrated platform, an integrated community development. It's a way for us to assure people that when we can come together as partners, even though each of the organizations here at the table are actually we have our own mission, but we are coalescing around a vision of building sustainable livelihoods for families and young people across the country, to give people a chance to move forward out of poverty. And to outpace that poverty, do we make sure that we partner, because the resources are scarce. If we don't partner up with each other, we're not going to have enough resources to actually outpace poverty, at least the level that we're talking about, and we know, and we are living, seeing our people living in. So long-term goal is to build a strong and viable institution, to engage people like you all, engage other institutions in working with us to build that institution. It's also helping us to develop a confidence in that we can do for ourselves and create opportunities for other avenues, because it's not just agriculture, it's about building a bunch of strong communities across Haiti. 142 strong communities, strong municipalities, actually will result in a strong Haiti, but starting with communities.
All right, thank you very much. And the last few words, from the moderator.
I will say that, thank you, fellow colleagues. I call them foot soldiers, brothers and sisters in arms in Haiti, because we believe that Haiti needs to change. Every time they mention the name President Barbecue, it's like a dagger, in my heart. So the only reason, I will say that again, we're having gangs throughout the country is because of lack of opportunities. So we need to create jobs, we need to invest in enterprises, we need to make sure that Haiti in the next 5 years, we start talking about having a credit rating so we can start borrowing money on the international level. So the system we have now is not working for us. We're gonna make sure we move forward with it. I will say there's HGI, they have a booth. I mean, if you want to learn more about the Agri-Food Entrepreneurship Center, stop by the booth and get some flowers, ask some more questions. Thank you, Reginald. Thank you, Joanne. Thank you, Pierre. I'm very happy to be here. Again, USAID, IDB, World Bank, thank you for being a strong partner for Haiti. And I think together we can do more.
All right, a round of applause for the panel. Thank you all.